Hey guys, so in this little lesson here, we're just going to be kind of doing a little bit of layer management, and then we'll be learning about the smudge tool. The smudge tool will be kind of like our main tool when we're doing digital painting. It's perfect because it simulates kind of mixing real, like, what do you want to call it, paint or ink? Whoa, the room just got dark. Um, Spooky mode. So, anyway, yeah, the smudge tool can also like simulate different kind of brushes, as you'll see when we get into it. So we need to open up our digital painting. So remember to open a file, file open right here. My digital painting is in a specific folder. Again, any kind of laptop or desktop user, go find that folder and then open it. iPad users, it'll be file open, then you'll choose the browse ... We've saved it once, so most likely there's some kind of parentheses 1 if you're on a Mac or PC, and then if you're on the iPad, it might even be digital painting 2 or 1, and then click open. All right, from here, double check your layers. Make sure that you have background and that you have stock photo, okay? Last time, I believe we made a new layer for the stock photo, or it might have just automatically been made when you copy pasted your photo in. So just to reiterate, to make a new logo is down here in the bottom right where my mouse is circling around. It is the one that kind of looks like a piece of paper with like a folded edge. If you click that, you'll see it just made layer 1. I actually don't want a blank layer in this case. So if you ever want to delete a layer, the trash can right there will do just that. What we all want to do right now is to copy the stock photo layer into like a kind of like just a brand new one, but keep the stock photo just in case something goes wrong with the other one. So copying a layer is really easy, actually. You just click and drag it onto the new layer icon. So watch as I like move it down, and then when I'm over the new layer icon, you might see a little plus sign appear, let go, and then voila, there it is, stock photo copy. So I want to rename that though, because that's going to be our actual painting layer. So double click on the name, and then I'll just type in painting and click off. Don't lock this one. This will be our only layer that we actually edit. And then the last part here, we're going to set up the smudge tool, and then we're going to cross our fingers that the recording does not lag when I try to demonstrate the smudge tool. If it does, there'll probably be a separate attachment video for demonstrating the smudge tool. It's one of those hidden tools. It's underneath the blur tool. Blur is right here. It's the one that kind of looks like a water droplet. Click and hold on that, and then you're going to get smudge right here. A couple different things about smudge tool. Not too much though, not too bad. One is the strength. So like if you're up to 100% on it, it's really going to blend the colors like dramatically. Anything below 50 kind of starts getting kind of harder to see the blending. 20 and below is like next to nothing really happening. So somewhere around 50 is kind of where I would recommend, unless you want it to be really gesture-like, perhaps on like a sky or an open field where there's not a whole lot of colors. This I kind of want 50-ish. The other thing is going to be right here where it says 15 and then the down arrow. The 15 is the size of your brush. You can use this slider to move it around. It depends on what area that you're working on. Like right now I'm up in that neon sign right here. It's even hard to kind of see my brush. There we go, a little bit bigger. Get a size that fits the area that you're working in. When you're up closer and doing content here, I prefer a smaller size because it makes it look more detailed. When I'm doing an area in the background that isn't as detailed, then I'll tend to use a bigger brush. But that's going to be your discretion. Figure out what you think works the best for you. The other ones are the kinds of brushes. Some of these other ones down here kind of simulate actual paintbrushes and more like texture oriented. Like right here, sketching. There's probably like a soft version somewhere around there. Sketching medium, sketching soft. And then let's see, details. So if you hover over them, if you have a keyboard, it should tell you what they are. I'm going to try this sketching soft, actually. I haven't done it before. So we're going to do it live. get the size that you want for, well, depending on the area that you're going to be working in. You might have to zoom in a lot. I'm going to move this camera a little bit. The zoom tool right here is the bottom left most tool, the one with the magnifying glass. When you click on that, it'll have a plus and minus. The plus will zoom you in, and the minus will zoom you out. I'm going to start on this neon sign. So I have it this big. If the recording does go haywire right here, we'll just save our projects, and I'll have to do it in some kind of different recording. This will work for you, though, because hopefully you won't be like live streaming this or anything. I want to make sure that my size is right, because this brush is pretty hard to see. I have a feeling 590 is going to be too big. We'll go here. And nothing really came up on that one, so maybe this brush isn't a good one. You know what? I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to stick with the circle brush, and I'm going to stick, I like this. You know what? I'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll go, 50. Strength 50, brush size 50, nice and even. So now if I go ahead and I click and drag around, there we go. It's working. You're going to see that it starts to smudge your colors, and it's going to make it look a lot like Painter-like by the time we're done. So right here, and again, because it's a painting, you don't actually want smooth edges. You want it to be smudged blurry, not blurry-like, but you want the colors mixing together. And you don't want to leave any area untouched. Having them be untouched will, kind of like break the immersion of the painter look that we're going for. Something else too, real quick, when I finish up this line as a no-no, I was following here. Let me hide the eyeball. There's the unedited area. There's the current area. Follow the areas of your photograph. So if I were to go up and down, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to look good? No. It's going to completely ruin the photo. If that ever happens, you can either go back in the history and click around on different steps that you've done, or a simple edit undo will work for one step. All right, guys, let's close out with this. I already did it, but I want to explain it real quick. Is over here on your layers, where I have my layers showing. Oh, if your layers aren't showing, you can hit LAY, or you could expand this out. So each layer has an eyeball. If you click the eyeball, it doesn't delete the layer, it just hides it. It won't even go into your histories because it's not a destructive step, or doesn't change anything. The reason why we made a backup to stock photos, one, so we have a backup just in case something really goes wrong, and two, you can eyeball in and out to make sure that you aren't missing a large area. It'll be a little harder to track what we've done as we continue to work. All right, let's go ahead, save our file, and we will be done. Do file, save as PSD. Takes a second while recording. There we go. I'm going to move this file to my desktop just to keep it nice and safe. Perfect. Oh, it's kept the same parentheses. If that ever happens and you move it back to your folder with the other one, feel free to just go ahead and replace it for the desktop users or laptop users. We don't need the other one. iPad users, it'll probably save as a different thing. We can go back and delete some of your earlier files to clean things up. Later, we'll get more into that. All right, guys. Well, with that said, we're good for today. If you want to do a little bit more exploring with the smudge tool, be my guest. Next class, we're really going to kind of get to work on it, really.